Welcome back, crew. What's going on? I know it's been a minute since I posted the last video, but today I got some stuff that I got to do and it's maintenance time. So I figured, you know what? Let me turn on the camera and show you guys how easy it is to do maintenance. Now, you guys know, let me move the camera over here for you guys so you can see. You guys know I have the new Melco Summit, and we also have the EMT over here, which is this one right here. See, so stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so we're first gonna do the Summit. Now this icon right here is blinking. That's where it indicates that some maintenance is due and we gotta do the maintenance. So let's go ahead and check this icon. And there's a couple of maintenance things that we gotta do. The first one is the daily maintenance, which is basically every time it runs for 4 hours, you want to do that type of maintenance. Then there is the every 2 weeks or the 2 million stitches that you want to hit, and then of course the 10 million and the 30 million. So right now that is due. I got my 200,000 stitches that's due, and then my 2 million stitches that is due. Go ahead and focus that so you guys can read that. So to get started, just click this button. Okay, now it's going to give you a warning, and basically what it says that Melco is not going to be held responsible if you don't follow the steps here on this description right here. You just got to make sure that when you are doing maintenance that you don't have your cap driver installed, you don't have any hoops installed, basically. Now you're okay with having the arms installed. You can take them off if you want, but you don't need to. Just go ahead and click next. Next. Okay, so here what we're going to be doing is the oil frequency, which is basically the rotary hook. It's going to be this part right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the bobbin case. Okay, so remove the bobbin case. It can be removed from the lower arm of the machine by locating the release lever on the bobbin case. Now, since we have the case removed, let's go ahead and clean this up, and then also make sure that it's tension to the right spec, which is about 180 to 200. So I like to use this. It's just basically an electric air that shoots out air. So that's what I'll do. Then I like to get like a card and then just try to clean this part right here, because sometimes lint likes to get stuck here. That little groove right there is where you would put the card in. Then I like to use a microfiber cloth. This one is dirty, so I do gotta wash it, but I still got some spots that's not that bad. Just removing the old dust and debris, the lint that piles up. All right, let's go ahead and then get our tension gauge tool so we can tension this bobbin up. So remember, we want to be at 180 to 200. Let's get a new bobbin. Okay. And let's see where we're at. Let me tighten it up just a little bit. Perfect. 180 to 200. All right, so that's done. Let's go back to the machine and finish the rest. All right, so the next step is blowing out air into the rotary hook and trimmer to remove the debris. And we can click next. And let me show you on the screen where I mean what I'm doing. See, it tells you, it gives you a visual presentation and then also what to do. And now here are the steps. So let's go back. Step 4, this is what we did. We blew out air into the rotary hook and the trimmer. And then again, it tells you a description on what to do. So again, it's easy. It's just a step-by-step process. Can't mess up. Okay, we're on the next step. Step 5, let's oil the rotary hook. We just add 1 drop. Next step, enter our bobbin case. And we are finished. That's what you do every 4 hours if you're running these machines non-stop. Okay. So we're done with that part. We have the next thing, which is our every 2 weeks, or basically our 2 million stitches. I do apologize for the glare, but there we go. Every 2 weeks or every 2 million stitches is due. Okay, gives you the warning. It's always going to give you the warning. Okay, so just make sure that you read the disclaimer and make sure that you're not putting, you're not doing something wrong. Okay, because again, they're not going to be held responsible if you get this damaged. See, look, no hoops installed, no fast clamps, no cap drivers. Okay, just basically remove everything. Like I said, you can leave the arms on or you can take them off, but I just leave them on. Okay. So we're going to be dropping about 25 drops of oil into that part of the machine, which is right there. So let's go ahead and do that. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll hold up a little bit so it doesn't overfill. 16. So right now it's basically going into the machine. So there's like a little slope and it drains the oil that way. So I got a few more drops to put, and then it'll move the machine that way so we can put oil on the other side. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay. Now we're going to let this sit for 10 minutes. Once it's cleared, then we can move on to the next step. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. All right, guys. So I lost audio here and throughout the whole video. I think what happened was my mic died on me. But here on this next step, it's basically just telling us that we need to oil the bottom of the rows of the needle bars, and then also on the top part. So right here, you'll see me going ahead and oiling up each needle bar at the bottom row, and then you'll see me do it again on the top, and it's just 1 drop. And the way I do it is, what I like to do is I like to first feel where the bar is by touching the tip of that oil bottle. Once I have a feel of where that bar is at, then I go ahead and squeeze the bottle and then and then of course add a drop of oil to that bar. Okay, so now we're moving on to the top part, and again, same thing. Just add a drop of oil to each of those needle bars on the machine. There you go. So every 2 weeks, on step 5, that's what we did. We oiled the needle bars. Right here, we're just basically cleaning and wiping down the V-rail because we're going to add a drop of oil on the back and front of that part right there. Looks like the next step is just to make sure that the tubes on the back of the machine are all intact. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And you can see that all the tubes are intact. They're not, they didn't come apart or anything like that. Next step is the machine moved so that we can clean the other side of the V-rail. Of course, just wipe it down, and then we're going to add a drop of oil to the back and the front of that V-rail. Okay, so I believe the next step is going to be cleaning up the needle plate. So let's just go see. There's 2 screws underneath the needle plate that you unscrew. And also this little clip that you'll just remove. And then, of course, blow air to remove all the dust, the lint, all that. All right, so now it's time to clean up the needle plate. That's the knife right there that you see. We're gonna be adding a drop of oil and then sliding that knife a couple times so we can spread that oil around. Now what I'm going to do is now just clean up all this area here because it likes to get built up with a lot of lint after time, so builds up. So what I like to do is just get a cloth and just start wiping them down and removing all that out. And as long as you're maintaining your machines and keeping up to date and cleaning up, man, these things will go for a very, very long time. Okay, so now I'm going to just put our needle plate back in place. Oh, but one thing I forgot to mention is when you put your needle plate back on, make sure that the knife is in the back position. So you can see my finger where I'm telling you guys where to put it. Right now it's in the very front. You want to slide that knife all the way back before you install it back into the arm. Now this next step, you want to put your screws, but you don't want to tighten them up all the way. You want the needle plate to be loose enough because we're going to be bringing down the needle so that we can have the needle centered with the needle plate on the hole. And you'll see here right now in a moment. So see right there, it's basically telling you that the needle needs to be centered with the needle plate hole. So right now I'm looking at the needle and make sure that it's centered with the hole on the needle plate. And it was, and everything is good now. And I believe that's done for that maintenance. Yeah, it is. So that's how you do the maintenance on these machine, guys. Especially on the Summit, everything is on the touchscreen. And I think we're gonna move on to the next part, which is doing maintenance now on an EMT 16X. The difference now on the EMT is that you have to go to your computer and control everything from there. So right now I'm in the settings and the tools, and now I'm on the timers, and I have to do the rotary hook maintenance, and I also have to do the 2 million maintenance. So it's already again telling me the warning. Make sure that you don't have nothing on the machine. And there it is. It gives you a picture letting you know, hey, what's the next step that you got to do. So now I got to go to my machine and, of course, follow those steps. Then after I'm done, I got to go back to the computer and then click next and then follow the prompt. So that's the main difference is with the Summit, everything is right there. You don't have to be going back to the computer back and forth versus like the EMT where you see I was going back and forth. And I think here that's what I was explaining here on that part about going back and forth from the computer to the machine. But I did record myself so you guys can see what I mean by where I'm moving from one part to the other. So like right here, I just did one step. Okay, so now I'm going back to the computer to click next to see, all right, what do I got to do next? So right here, it's telling me to clean the needle plate, add the oil, etc., etc. When I'm done with that, then I got to go back to the computer to click next to see what's the next step I got to do. So it takes a lot of time, That's why I like the Summit better because everything is right there on that screen. You just click and go, click and go, click and go. With the EMTs, you have to go back to your computer and then go back to the machine, back and forth, back and forth. But everything else is the same, It's just that's the only difference. It's the touch screen. But I've been told that Melco now is offering an upgrade where now you can get the touch screen and add it to your EMT 16X. So that's something that I might look into. I don't remember what I was talking about here, but basically probably giving you a recap, a summary, or whatnot of, you know, how you do your maintenance on these machines. And it's pretty easy, guys. You saw it. So thanks for watching. Peace.